Okay, good morning, guys. It's day 2 of our adventure, and it is a windy day right now. We just came to a main lake point. We're throwing a spinnerbait and a chatterbait, just trying to feel it out. You know, it's always a good thing to start with.
Today's one of those days where, you know, I wouldn't go out personally. It's like golf when it's windy conditions like this, but I'm with a pro who can put me on them. And so, obviously, best friend, trust his word, and he's pumped up, so I'm pumped up. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel the energy.
That's my analysis.
Show him the camera, Craig. That's a pale bass right there, ladies and gentlemen. Dirty water. Broke the ice of the day, though, with the spinnerbait. Very nice.
Pretty good.
Very nice, Craig. It's a windy bear out here, guys. But we're dedicated. Can't just go in. Go in and eat pancakes. That'd be fun, but I'd rather stick it out and catch a big one.
Man, I do love some pancakes.
I know, I do too.
What'd you get into?
Got a little crankbait fish here, guys. Just barely grabbed it. We're in Stumped City.
Pretty nice one there, buddy. Oh, yeah.
He's pretty beat up from the spawn, it looks like. Throwing that little 6-cent crankbait right there. This is dangerous right here, bro.
What do you mean?
Hang on to yourself. Get ready. This is bad.
Justin, it's a giant.
Get him around those stumps,
It's
man.
a giant.
Easy, easy. Got plenty of stumps here, guys. Got a good fish on.
Justin, it's a giant.
It's a good one. That's a drum.
That's a drum.
It's a drum.
Unbelievable.
Easy.
Well, when we're on a lake like this and something like that hits your spinnerbait, you're like, oh my gosh. See you, bud. I was so fired up. Tell me you weren't excited.
I was too. Well, guys, me and Craig have we've been out here a couple hours, and the wind is fully engaged now. I think we're at 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and we're in this little protected pocket, just barely. We're gonna head back to the cove where we originally launched, just because it's a little bit calmer, and try to fish in there. But you know, I think the bigger fish are still gonna be out main lake where we're at right now, but it's just crazy windy. We can't keep the boat stabilized even, and there's so many stumps in here. It's just bad news bears. So we're gonna head across this ocean that we got going on here, get back into some calm waters.
When I set the hook.
Watch that motor. Craig's got a pretty decent one, we think. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, it's a white bass. Nice.
It wasn't acting like a normal one.
I haven't been back to this lake in a while, and it's like a completely different place. And we're catching white bass in flooded grass, which makes very little sense to me out here, why we shouldn't be hooking into good bass. Seems like the fish are shallow, but I can't get them to bite, which is fairly typical of Lake Fork in the spring. We can't go sight fishing for a number of reasons.
What do you think, like 40-mile-an-hour winds?
40-mile-an-hour winds, overcast, and dirty water. Just doesn't, there's one. It's a white bass. See, this is just,
What's with the species here?
this is weird, man. I mean, we're throwing in like a foot of water.
They're taking over the lake.
It's a crankbait and a spinnerbait, and they are just, there's a lot of these things in here. There must be. Throwing in places that look really bassy, like you'd throw a frog. Did you get one?
I got hit.
really weird for this lake. I don't know what he was thinking right there, but he was definitely motivated. Well, Craig. Oh man, guys, me and Craig just got in off the water, and it was a rough go. It was a rough go out there, man. It's 2:30 right now today, and the wind's it's blowing so hard. It's white caps out there. It's tough conditions, and we had a hard time catching. We caught a few here and there on a little bit of everything, you know, top water. That was cool yesterday evening. You threw a spinnerbait most of the day today.
I did.
Had an awesome 5-pound drum. That was pretty.
Yeah.
That was like the
biggest
highlight.
fish of the day. Yeah.
That was the highlight, I think. Caught some little fish, you know, fishing shoreline. Had white bass around the bank, but not the giants we were looking for, man.
And when you come out here, you expect that big toad. Seen you in hundreds of pictures holding them. Been there with you when you caught them, but just not today or yesterday.
Me and Craig have fished we've been fishing out here for like 13 years, off and on. And the same thing always happens, you know, every time you get a little fish, like today, when multiple times.
Okay.
It's a giant, it's a giant, it's a giant. You know, that's in your brain because there's literally huge fish in this lake all over the place, double digits, but there's so much pressure, they don't always bite. So there's always the nostalgia of catching a big one, and unfortunately we didn't get it done, but had a good time with your brother.
Always.
We're gonna keep coming out here. We're gonna retire out here, guys.
Slow days have never stopped us, ever.
That's it. Guys, we'll be back to catch big fish. We'll catch y'all later.